guys? It's your boy Benny. There's something called an evergreen headline in the journalism business, and that's a headline that you can use again and again and again because the story just keeps going on, and it's pretty much the same story every time. And so Joe Biden has dementia is something that we've been saying for, I don't know, nigh on 4 or 5 years since Joe Biden started running for president. And Joe Biden had dementia then, and he was yelling and shouting at people, calling them fat, and challenging them to push-up competitions. And so Joe Biden has been on the steady decline for a long time. You can go back and check the archives. Robin Williams making fun of Joe Biden having dementia like in 2012. How stupid Joe Biden is. And so Joe Biden's never been a really smart cookie. He had to drop out running for president in the 80s because he plagiarized a bunch of people. Joe Biden has always been a dolt. But for the ruling regime, that is a feature, not the bug, because, well, he's controllable. He's a dumb muppet, and he'll do what he's told. And so it is with great joy that I bring you an evergreen headline that Joe Biden is stupid and has dementia and literally runs into flags that are standing on the stage. Check this out. Joe Biden, remember, he's supposed to be taking the place of the guy who's going to destroy America's diplomacy around the world. And no one will respect the United States of America anymore because Donald Trump's president. In fact, people never respected us more. People loved Donald Trump as president. It was quite unique, interesting, and it was fun. Joe Biden, on the other hand, literally is stomping on other nations' flags as he walks on stage. Check this out.
And the President of the Federative Republic of Brazil, accompanied by the Director General of the International Labor Organization.
Check this out. Watch him.
Accompanied by the Director General of the International Labor Organization.
He knocks over the flag. All right, so this was the United Nations. President Biden looked confused as he walked up into a giant flag. The United Nations appeared to anger Brazil's president by walking on stage without shaking his hand, which is exactly what Joe Biden did. It's not the first time that Joe Biden had to go run and take a potty break. Sometimes he does it on live TV, but check this out. And he gets played off. Oh, man. The humiliation, obviously, is the point. The point is to be embarrassed. You're supposed to feel as though you are in a declining empire, a declining world power. This is the point of the America Last agenda. This is certainly not, and I repeat, not the most embarrassing thing to happen, though, during this meeting. The most embarrassing thing to happen is that the president of Brazil, again, a guy named Lula, a complete corrupt scumbag who was actually imprisoned for his criminality and corruption in Brazil, this guy was like, hey, Joe Biden, are you paying attention? Hello? Hello, McFly? Watch.
Well, first of all, I would like to greet President Biden and to say to President Biden, can you hear me, President Biden? This is a historical moment for Brazil and for the U.S. President Biden, can you hear me? You can? Yes, good.
So while in New York, Joe Biden was doing a little campaigning here, and Joe Biden gave a rambling speech on Broadway, the 80-year-old, as 80-year-olds tend to do, began to repeat himself. Biden repeats the same story, word for word, just minutes apart, raising fresh concerns about age and fitness for office. Biden showed his age at a campaign reception on Manhattan. Of course, not an actual campaign rally or anything, not actually campaigning. Joe Biden has actually held a single campaign event for his re-election. But he repeated, of course, the Charlottesville riot story word for word. Something very interesting, though, happened on the way to this embarrassing article. You see here from the Daily Caller, Joe Biden tells donors real reason he ran for president, then repeats the exact same story minutes later. Everyone in the room groaned. So the Daily Caller and the New York Post reports that Joe Biden repeated himself, right, and repeated this little story. He loves this little KKK story because then they can tie it to Donald Trump and everything and say that that's why he ran for president. And Joe Biden repeated himself. Joe Biden's old and Joe Biden has dementia. So yeah, we went ahead and checked the White House. There's a person transcribing essentially everything that the president says, and yep, he just goes ahead and tells the story right over again. Old grandpa. Can't remember what he said legitimately 1 minute ago. Maybe this is why some of the biggest publications in America are saying that Biden should not run again in 2024. The column reads from the Washington Post, Biden 80 sees himself as a young go-getter. Here's a respected voice that he's known for 40 plus years telling him by plugging ahead, he risks undoing his greatest achievement, which is stopping Trump. Biden has never been good at saying no, the Washington Post writes, adding that the president has a chance to say no to himself this time by withdrawing from the 2024 race. It might not be in character for Biden, but it would be a wise choice for the country. Time is running out, the columnist says. In a month or so, this decision will be cast in stone. It'll be too late for Democrats, including VP Harris, to test themselves in primaries and see whether they have the stuff for presidential leadership. Welp, welp, welp. My, how the turntables turn. And what would Kamala Harris say about Joe Biden, his age, and his presidency? Let's have a listen.
Prominent Washington Post articles today talking about President Biden's age, and that's a big concern among the young voters. And in growing poll numbers, that's a big concern. Are people right to be concerned about his age at this point?
Well, let me just say this. When I talk to these young voters, what they want is a leader who is in touch with the problems of today and has a vision for what we can do today and in the future to deal with it. President Biden is the first president to take on in any substantial way the issue of the climate crisis.
Okay, so your answer is so the question is, should Joe Biden run again? And Kamala Harris, Joe Biden and the climate crisis. He's taking it on. What does that tell you? Gavin Newsom, when asked if Joe Biden's going to run again, had this to say, Kamala's all lined up.
Deadlines haven't passed. President Biden doesn't run. Why shouldn't we consider you a likely candidate?
I think the vice president is naturally one lined up, and the filing deadlines are quickly coming to pass, and I think we need to move past this notion that he's not.
The face of this guy. This is freaking the Joker. It is the Joker. It's the Joker pre-falling into the vat of acid. This is what Gavin Newsom is. People from all sides are saying that Joe Biden shouldn't run again. Stephen Smith saying that Joe Biden has dementia.
Mr. Biden, clearly he doesn't seem to be as cogent and as lucid as we would like him to be. My bigger point was this. It is a disgrace for the Democratic Party to call themselves progressives when they're virtually begging an 82-year-old man at election time to run for re-election.
Yeah, things aren't going great. Democrats no good at civil wars, and they've already lost a couple. They were really angry after the first one. Started the KKK, Jim Crow, segregation, and so on, Brown versus Board of Education. Democrats were so angry about losing their first civil war, now they have another civil war on their hands because, well, Joe Biden has dementia, and he can't win against Trump. And he's going to undo his lasting legacy, which is beating Trump. Got it? It'll be fun. We are looking forward to it. A lot of wood to chop. Buckle up. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to End Communism. Our channel will be here for you. See ya.